So I've never done this before, but I'm going to talk about the activation that I just experienced. And, what I did was, was I connected my femininity and my masculinity, of my multidimensionality of my being. And then I connected to Mother Earth and Father Sky, and just grounded myself, both earthling and cosmically, so that I can clear who I am. What I believe is that I am the heart chakra. I am the fourth center green Anahata heart chakra, which is the bridge, the union from our earthling blueprint. All of our incarnations, experiences are kept in the grids of Agatha. So all the adversities and hinderings and all the life patterns, and you may not remember what you have gone through. Even in this life, it's hard to remember everything that you've gone through, because all the good things are stored in the Agatha blueprint records. So all the adversities, the wins, the happies, every single emotion that one can think of that they have experienced is kept in there. And depending on the circumstances that emotion is coming about into you, it will evoke a different type of frequency. That frequency is the blueprint. That's what's kept in the Agatha crystalline energy grid of Mother Earth, right? Like the big motherboard that's keeping the frequencies and the blueprints and the energy centers of every single soul on planet Earth, right? So what I did was connect to my soul's origin as well. I reside in the sixth dimension in Specca, which is the largest and brightest star in the Virgo constellation. And I typically like to be in my light body. So I'm a spick and starseed. We're known as the ancestors of the Octorians. And we don't like to come down to earth to meddle in other people's business. We've been there, done that. Like my guides have been here many times. And we've been here, we've done that. Unless it's really crucial for a cosmic grander purpose, like shifting where we shouldn't be shifting. And so there's less than 1,000 of us here on planet Earth, and most of us, we're peaceful warriors, we're generals, we're leaders, but we like to take the front lines and really be the vulnerable ones to just push forward. And so the funny thing is, is to always remember, the more we work on ourselves, is the more that we do bring peace to the world. The more we tune in to the frequencies of the Agatha blueprint records, the more we tune out the distractions. Remember, the distractions are just there to captive your attention so you don't connect. You understand? Tune into yourself. The distractions are a plagiarization on the ignorance of who you truly are. Do not be ignorant. You are not ignorant. You are much more than they are telling you who you can be. Oh, that's what you're saying. I get carried away. That's why it's important while you connect Starseed origin to your earthling experience, and you activate the 4 center green Anahata heart chakra within. It will offer you guidance on what you need to do next in order to be at the highest level of functionality in your current circumstances. That will help you propel you and accelerate you to the next level of where you know you want to be, whether it's financially, in a marriage, a relationship, a new job, even a vacation, a new car. It doesn't matter what it is, manifestation or healing, whatever it is. Whatever it is. It's really important to pay attention. Trust yourself above all to what's coming inside. You know, don't worry about what it looks like either. It could be simple as a number, you know, and then like you're scrolling on IG or TikTok or whatever it is that you're doing, or you're reading a blog on YouTube, on life current events, or whatever it is that you like to read to keep up on, because it's important to be mindful, and ignorance is not bliss. You know, you have to be aware of what's happening, but you don't need to give your power away to it. So pay attention to what's in front of you. Don't worry about what it's looked like, because one thing can lead to another, which will lead to where you need to be, right? In order to receive that dream thing for the reasons why you don't have it yet, right? But it's also important to disconnect from everything. So that's what I was doing. I was disconnecting, and I was just channeling my earthling beings, and I called in a ferocious lion and a king bear, and we were gatekeepers of the people that draw awareness to our heightened spiritual connection, right? So it's important to have a healthy balance, because we are on planet Earth as a human, but it's just an avatar, because that's what this place needs for us to breathe and be and live and experience. You need to be connected in the body, the mind, and the soul fully. So there's a lot of distractions out there. So you got to tune in. Just get rid of the distractions. They're so unhealthy, it's unbelievable. There's so much that you can do and unlock within you. You would be absolutely dumbfounded of the powers and abilities that you have within you to repair any disease, disharmony, disconnections, any sadness, any self-judgment, any neglect, any loneliness, any hatred. You can also deflect all these negative energies as well. You can also invite beautiful experiences attributed to the negativity that you're expelling. You can ignite your spiritual body to your physical body. You can clear your outer bodies of negativity from past life hinderings. You can bring all this awareness into your eye and your connection. Ignite the earth star, the soul star. You detox everything through the crystalline energy grids of Agatha, the earth star connection. You recycle it down there, and then it's going to come back up into your golden soul star, and you're going to experience the beautiful attributes from what you are detoxing out of your energy center. You don't have to believe it. Your soul knows exactly what's happening. Don't allow the story in your subconscious mind tell you that this is so crazy, it's far-fetched. How can you believe in that? The same way that people believe in Jesus, Buddha, Judah, Isaiah, Noah. You know, the same reason everybody believes in anything. Try it. Experience it for yourself. Because I'm not here trying to convince you. I'm just telling you what my activation was all about. And so I called in the masculinity repair because over the last several days I felt very depleted in my femininity. I wanted to give up on this path. I was ready to throw in the towel. I was searching and calling people for different types of opportunities. I was going to shut down everything. This was not happening. But this is not going anywhere. I just wanted to shift it elsewhere, but it shifted back to me. So now I'm here sharing everything that I just went through, the activations, and they're telling me, where are you going? And I'm like, I'm sorry, it's my 163rd incarnation and it's difficult. I'm tired. My soul is beat the fuck up, man. But you know, I just needed some little downtime to connect to nature today, to connect to the ocean, to the water, to the sky, to the sun, to the earth, to the moon, to the stars, to the night, to the sky. So here I am, back again. I thought I died. Things don't go away. What we're doing when you listen to yourself, you're building this energetic armor of protection of the adversities, the self-judgment, the negative self-talk, the negative self-thoughts that might be plaguing you from stopping you, procrastinating you, creating resistance within you from stopping to be your most excellent that you can be. Unlocking your soul's full potential. Forging the keys to unlocking your soul's secret. 100%. It's something that I can't convince you that I just experienced. You have to experience it for yourself. And again, it doesn't matter how long you do it for. It doesn't matter how perfect you think you might be in your mind. We are busy. If our mind wanders, that's what it's all about. It's about bringing it back to your breath. Right? Getting the energy out of my auric field, washing it away with love, compassion, and then you build this energetic armor so that it no longer depletes you because it gives you a tool. It gives you a tool on how to not allow it to rule you. Plain and simple. So the more you tune in, the more you tune out the distractions. Pay no mind. Because I guarantee you, when you exit yourself out of there one day at a time, not overnight, it's a gradual thing. It takes consistency. The universe doesn't care about if you're perfect and how much time you give every single day. It just cares that you're consistent. Be consistent with yourself. How do you make money every day? You're consistent with your job. Take 5 minutes away for yourself, man. Do something for yourself. Trust yourself. If any bit of whatever it is I'm talking about, because I don't even know what we're talking about yet. This is all just an experience that I feel that is real. But I won't know till I die, till I go back to my soul's origin. That I know for real. I'm an Akashic record reader and clear. So when I die, I'm going to go back to my spiritual realm. And because I've done this so many times, you know, I may be back in like a year. Because I'm aware, I'm bringing in all the knowledge that I have from the sixth, the information grid. That's what that is. It's just an information grid, guys. It's nothing more. You know, it's an information grid that you can apply within your humanness so that you cannot be bombarded by all the fucking ridiculousness. It's just a game. You know, like, because if you do tune in to tune out the distractions, you're not going to be affected by them. You're not going to give away your emotions to them. Like, your life is so perfect that you have to give your emotions away to other people who decided, like, we are dealing with everything as well. Everything as well is happening also with us. It's not about having love and compassion to the world and what's happening everywhere. It's about just tuning in so peacefully that the distraction doesn't cause you disharmony. That's it. It's very simple. You're not giving. I can still love everybody in the world without giving myself away to them. The more I am me, the 100% of me they get. The 100% that you'll be more with you. The 100% more that you'll be with your loved ones, with your wife, with your husband, your grandmother. You know, make no mistake right now. You are a walking ancestor to all the young ones, all the world around you. If you're a parent, a grandmother, an aunt, an uncle, a brother, a sister, you're a walking ancestor today. How do you choose to be? And remember, what they show you in the distraction are things they took from thee. We need to be activated in high frequency for these to activate thee. They can't use it. Their heart is not in the place to be. It is all a distraction to make you think that what they do is only the devil signs to be. And that's a manufacturer idea that's been implanted for centuries. Don't believe it. They don't have the activation in the heart within thee to activate any of the mudras we choose to place within thee. It's all ours, guys. Don't allow them to make you think that what they're doing is the devil. Though their heart is there. They're misleading us. They're not feeding us. JK Ultra, they're telling me to send this to. I love that sister. She's badass, man. Badass. Frontline warrior right there. So the activation was activating the masculinity in me. And as I was standing with the gatekeepers to protect the ones, and I've always thanked them for heightening my awareness. You know, when you get caught in someone else's frequency web that they don't know they have, but it just like they're just kind of like attackish and condescending, and you know, you just kind of get caught in that. I always thank them for their awareness, but today I activated the gatekeepers, which was the lion and the king bear. They're like this. I'm the smallest. I'm the tiger. So we're the gatekeepers to protect them, because without them, which is the matrix, we don't have a heightened awareness. So you can't neglect to what's going on. You just can't allow it to plagiarize you. You can't allow it to sink you into all of it, because you need to use it. You can't just allow it to use you, right? So there's a frequency that's emitted, and that's reflected back into your reality, depending on your belief system and where you're at. That's what I'm saying. I can't convince you to tune into the energy centers, just to tune into 5 minutes a day and do it consistently every day. Like, just do it. Like, just don't worry about it, you know? Like, the best thing to do is don't have any expectations. The best thing to do is to not even allow it to affect, like, just do it. Like, all right, I'm going to do this again. You know, and just listen to the 5-minute videos every single day. That's it. You know, and then experience something within you. You know, and it could be as simple as like changing your diet, man. It could be as simple as you like tuning out Netflix for an evening or two and watching another video that you feel like, hey, and you're just drawn, you know? And maybe it's videos about the work that you do. You know, there's a lot of great content, and it doesn't matter what you do either, right? So it's about implementing this practice of tuning into yourself to distract and to tune out all the distractions. And you may have to go to work. It's okay. It's about you just not allowing all that external noise to affect you. Everybody's going through shit. So why do you got to take on fucking Albert and Joyce's fucking problems when you're dealing with your own? Like, your life is so perfect that you're going to allow other people to feed what's not going good in your life? Like, you need reminder? So it's best to tune out, to tune in, to tune out. You just got to trust and keep doing that. And the consistency will draw you in places that will unlock and have you experience you just pushing past and showing up for 5 minutes, because it's just a consistency. That's the experience I had. My particular one was to, you know, you're not giving up. You know who you are. I've never done a video like this. This is video one. I guess of money. I think there's some different type of content that's going to come on to everything that I explain. I think the first one might be maybe explaining the chakras, the energy centers in which I was speaking about. I don't know. Again, I'm just here to describe the activations, right? I'm ready to receive. So in order to receive, you got to listen to the language of the universes, right? So like animals make you feel a different way. There's also spirit animals and meanings to them, so you can look that up. There's numbers that might be significant to you, a phone number, a street number, a date, a birth date, a birth, a death. It doesn't matter. It does whatever. Food. Maybe a food is eaten at a different at a certain spot, or you cook, so you buy the ingredients at a certain location, and the person that's serving you may have a message for you. So it works in that sort of way. So you just kind of gotta listen to what's coming in and don't dismiss it. It's like trust it. So in order to get to there, it's important for me to close the chakras, right? Because once you close them, boom, boom, boom. And the reason I connect to Mother Earth and Father Sky, well, we'll get to that after. So then you got to close everything, disconnect from Father Sky, disconnect you, the heart chakra, the fourth center green anahata heart chakra. For me, it's like home is where the heart is. Like, you know, everything you see painted all has the significance of who I am, multidimensionality and earthling. You know, I'm very connected to my roots. I'm Mohawk Indian, Egyptian, and Black Irish from Kerry, Ireland. You know, so I have like 11 queen female druids who protect me. I don't talk. You know, they've been on Earth before. You understand? We've been doing this for so long, so it's like, come on, man, like use me, let's go. You know, but there's so much going on. I'm distracted too. It's not easy, but it's not impossible. I'm possible. That's what you got to tell yourself every day when someone says something's not impossible. You just got to like put a space between the M and the P and repeat after me. I'm possible. And just know you can conquer anything that you want to be. So once you just listen to the messages, to the sounds of the universe, nature, sometimes through other people. Maybe some other person will remind you of an old time, of an old friend, and then boom, you got this memory and you connect with them. Just say hi, reach out. You don't just follow through, you know, like honor the why you're even trying this. Follow through to the end. Otherwise it won't work, and you have to trust it. Just believe in it. Follow through, and I promise it will lead you. So disconnecting all of your centers and Father Sky, you, Mother Earth, and all your experiences, and then what happens? Then you pay for you look for the signs. The signs, the first signs you get, may offer an ideology to a hindering that you're experiencing, adversity. Right? And then after that adversity, you know, you'll gain a perspective, because you're kind of like seeing yourself outside of that situation, right? Like you're not seeing yourself as that person, just kind of like, you're kind of seeing like, you're just a person observing the interaction with what caused this disharmony, but you're just watching yourself happen. And then you realize like, oh, like, you know, it wasn't as bad as you thought. You know, imagine you having this awareness, and the person that you had the energetic exchange, imagine their awareness is not even to be perceived yet, right? So there's a lot of sympathy. So then, you know, you start getting these droplets of information that just seems like a remembrance. They almost like connect with other ideas that you have in your mind. And then all of a sudden those ideas, that thought becomes elongated. It just becomes a more of like an idea. You know, you're like, oh, like it's an idea. Like you can almost pursue something, or there's something to be received, there's something to be had, something to be known, felt, You know, like maybe energetically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, maybe physically you're releasing and feeling great in like your knee or your elbow. Maybe you had a pain, you know, like a lot of different things would be happening. Or releasing a cold, or it doesn't matter, you know, like you can, it comes in many different forms. You just got to allow it to sink in. And then you get this like this download. You're just like this huge epiphany. You're just like, whoo! You just get flooded. You're just, and you almost cry in tears, like, oh my God, what the hell just happened here? I can't believe this. And but then it's like sympathy and the self-judgment dissipates really fast, and you just see like this poor little victim inside you, like this little thing that we'll call the inner child, like a soul of the inner child just weeping because of an experience, that energetic thing. And now you just realize it's just scared, you know, and you can like, it's just like this connection, this download, this epiphany, there's just thought, you know, you're just like, whoa. And then you get this like activation, because it's just like, what? No way. And then you can take this activation, it's just like this analogy, this metaphor that you could tune into other areas of your life that you may be feeling some disharmony, you know what I mean? Like some disconnection, some self-judgment, some self-acceptance, some self-loathing, you know, maybe abandonment, you know, maybe you were abused, you're dealing with addiction, mental abuse, spiritual abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse. I dealt with all these. You know, I had a huge activation today when I went on my walk, because of the past couple of days. I was really feeling depleted, right? That's why I had this activation with the masculinity and the femininity. So now to see, for me, as I'm telling this story, I'm just getting flooded with information. So I'm just trying to make sense of all. You just gotta like, it's important to disconnect, because when you disconnect, you're not leaving it open for other energies, because the other energies will always try. So that's why I protect my energy. I call in my vow of enlightenment, which is like Superman's energetic cape, right? It's like for any future attacks, any future bargains, constraints, curses, karmic debts, karmic vows, you know, all kinds of different types of hinderings, adversities, energetic attacks, walk-ins. Your vow of enlightenment is that it's a shield that propels any people that might just fucking not have good intentions for you. You just expel them. And then my energetic golden pyramid is where I get my activations from Father Sky, right? Because I believe the throat chakra is the masculinity. And tonight I got to hang out with the one, that we are the manifestation of the one. In any religion you want to believe, we are part of something, and that's who I hung out with. He came in and offered me my throat chakra wings. Woo! And it was really cool. And it's like, don't abuse them, right? It's all about getting some clarity and being the observer. Hear everything and listen to all. Speak rarely, and allow the lessons to be, right? You expel all the external and just retain the energies that offer lessons and blessings. But you expel all the negative energy. So that's what I did with Father Sky while I was in activation, meditation, visualization, detoxification, 5D guided meditation. And I align with my future self. That's something I practice all the time, but it's a timeline that's happening for the reasons why you're like, you know what, I'll give this a try, man. There's like an image, a picture, a feeling, a sense, you know what I mean? That sense, that's the timeline that I connected with. But you know, I've been on this journey for, you know, I did my, so I introduced Junta Haka. This is my stick. Junta Haka was given to me through my first Bufo 5-MeO DMT frog medicine. I think my son was 2017, 2018. I wasn't yet on this path, but I've always been connected to my Mohawk ancestral roots. And Kane Satake, and the masculinity was the wisdom of the masculinity from the earth coming through me, introducing himself to me. I'll have to go back to Kanikiwa, and I'm Huntahaka. Huntahaka is my so during my second Bufo experience, was the year after my first, my journey was 2 rainbow colored helix, 144,000 light frequency DNA souls traveling. We were traveling through dimensions, and there was portals everywhere, and it felt like it was like 3 minutes, eh? And I came to, and I go to the shaman. I'm like, oh man, sorry dude, I thought I'd be in there longer. I can't believe I wasted your time for this. I had to pay, well, my ex at the time paid for her, thank her very much, $300 for the session, because there's an energy exchange. There has to be an energy exchange. You have to invest in yourself, and that's all there is to it. There's energy exchange because there's value behind it. And it doesn't matter the monetary value, it's the value that you're exchanging. It's an energetic thing, so that you can open up the grids of information to receive, right? So that you can integrate into your humanness. So and so he's like, well, tell me about your journey, you know. And I told him this long journey. He's like, well, how long do you think you're in? I'm like, I don't know, about 3 minutes. He's like, no man, you were in for like 27 minutes or something, eh? I was like, what? Oh no, it was long. I could have sworn he said, oh, I know I'm gonna botch this because you may think it's not real, but my first one was short, and my second one was like 45 minutes, but it felt like 3 minutes. It felt really short, but it was really long. And then we just sat up, and it was very emotional. I cried, and I brought in, so the 2 helix DNAs was my great Indian chief medicine man uncle, who is the chief of the Mohawk tribe, Kane Satake, in Oka, Quebec. My grandmother's last name is Mitchell. We have 4 great uncles that were chiefs. There's statues of them on the reserve. And then my mom is half Egyptian and half Native American. And then I had a sister as well. And so my grandmother, my sister, and my mom offered me many information growing up, protected me. My grandmother, my root chakra. My sister, my creativity, because we grew up in the middle of the bikers and organized crime, man, the mafia. And she always protected me from that. She was my sacral chakra. She was always pushing creativity and like self-love. My brother's the best, man. He's never going to be into this. But I grew up with uncles feeding me alcohol at like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. I was drinking. I was fooling around with girls at a very young age. I was in. So the men were being groomed while the women were being abused. And so my sister, you know, had her first child got pregnant at 14, had her first child at 15. And so, you know, my first love was my baby niece, Crystal. I was 11. And so, you know, I was always connected to these things. And then my mom was my courage and my power, because she didn't give a fuck. She so didn't give a fuck that she died with a brain aneurysm because she was seeing the white spots of stroke lights for over a year. My mom was tough, man. She was tough. She was rooted in both Egyptian, which was, I believe, the island of Malta, and then from my grandmother's roots, and so I have those strong roots in me. That's what I take. That's what I embody. Those are the archetypes, all right? So when people say, and you hear starseeds, and they're this, and they're this type of person and this, all their meaning is that they're that archetype. They're feeling that strength, that love, that power, that courage, that strength, that whatever that they need to embody to get past what it is they're getting through. So the activation I had was for me to ignite my masculinity, like fucking grow the fuck up, grow a pair of balls, because I really wanted to give up on everything. And so, you know, I'm not giving up. I already seen me coming back in 164 lifetime. I just thought I'd fucking hurry that place up, you know? Over the last 3 days, it was really rough, man. I had a really, really difficult time. I go to the extreme, right? The balance is to be the peaceful warrior. And when I fly off to the chaos, I kind of go back to my roots of where I grew up and all the abuse and everything that I endured, you know? And I allow myself to go to that extreme because it's a reality. I got out scot-free once. I had to do it all. I ran drugs. I sold drugs. I hung out with these people. They were my family. I lost my mom as she was 43. I lost her to crack because the bikers would use my bedroom as a stash house with like kilos and kilos of cocaine, and got my mom hooked up on it so that they could keep using her house. And by the time, and I was kind of like pulling away from this lifestyle at this point because I had just finished dealing for like 3 years on the streets, and I got pretty wild into the game. And since grade 11, I was like driving back and forth from Alberta to BC with truckloads of drugs, of hash oil, and you know, it's just what it was. You know what I mean? Like that's just how it was. And I always knew I wasn't born into this family. I always knew I had a starseed origin. I just didn't know at that time. I was aware of my guides as well. I was a heavy drinker, don't forget. And there was times I drove from like Red Deer to Calgary. If anybody listens to this and knows the distance, about an hour and a half. We used to go to Brownlee's. I used to get shit-faced, get like 15, 16 fucking double rye and cokes. They were like $1 each. They were Jack and Cokes. Plus we'd be drinking, 1.4 liter Big Bears, 2-3 each before we got them. We were driving ourselves, And I remember blacking out because my car caught on fire, and I woke up in the morning, my keys on my lap, and I was sideways, and I lived with my mom. It was around that time I pulled away, man, and it was crazy. But yeah, again, there was no balance. It was all or none, And I lived that life for, since my uncles, I guess, were feeding me alcohol. So I've been sober for 4 years now. Celibate, intentionally for 4 years as well, and separated, single dad. Living in Costa Rica, and I was a fashion designer for 22 years. I had my own reality show. I was on Sons of Anarchy. I did like 6 movies where I was like the silent guy on TV. The words wouldn't be heard, and I was like friends of like the main character, and I feel like and through all my different careers and I owned bars, I ran restaurants. I was always in the service industry and hospitality, always at service. I have the gift of the gab. I love to connect with people. I make friends quite easily. I was out there. I was social. We threw the largest fashion shows when we were in fashion for L'Oreal Fashion Week, Toronto Men's Fashion Week. Had stores all over Toronto, shops, studios. Affiliated with a bunch of other different types of magazines. Our clothes graced the runways. Shit, man, we got a credit card with our own clothes on it, a Visa. We done some really great things. But I was always being protected. My greatness was always being protected because that world is part of the distraction. It's a false identity of who you really are and want to be. You know what I mean? And it's okay. No, I thank them for their awareness. And now, instead of dressing people's egos, I'm spiritually dressing people's mindsets. Alchemizing them to receive something different. So these are all the things and sensations and the activation that I felt that I got to be aware of. And these are things that you can experience as well if you just allow yourself the consistency just to sink into a 5-minute routine, a new practice, take on a mentor, a coach, a teacher. Take a new course, a program, get some one-on-one, some guidance. It doesn't matter where you're at. There's nothing to be shameful. Like, to be honest with you, every single great mentor has a mentor. My mentor has a mentor. My mentor just got out of puts herself through one of my mentors puts herself through some of the craziest human experiences and excels to the craziest heightened frequencies, that we have available, and there's no limit. You just got to try. Oh, she's been doing it for 30 plus years, you know what I mean? But it's just like, it doesn't matter where you're at, where you want to be, who you think you are, what you think you're not. You just gotta, like, if this resonates at any level, and there's a story in your subconscious mind, you're like, and it's just like causing you, like, uncomfortableness, then that's like telling you that it doesn't want you to push past. It's not uncomfortableness. You just never felt that. It's scared, man, because if you push past that, it's gonna think of a time when your incarnation in a past lifetime lived pushing past through this resistance to try this routine. It was persecuted, killed, maybe murdered, maybe it experienced great pain, and it's afraid to experience that again, right? So when you just like push past it and tell it it's going to be okay, it'll be a lot easier, and you can just push past through the resistance. You become really sensitive, and the dark energies, are just attracted to the light. But they're not my energies. You know what I mean? I'm always there to talk and to speak, but they don't need to attach to me. And so, like, the more work that you do to try to expel what's in front of you, you can expel from it, but you can't expel it from you, right? So that's why it's important to protect your energy, not to allow the energetic cords to tug on your strings, to lure you back in to the low frequency toxic masculinity or the toxic femininity. Your left side is your feminine side, your right side is your masculine side, your throat chakra is your masculinity, the male masculinity, the divinity. And then your lower three chakras, the solar plexus chakra, the sacral chakra, and the root chakra, are your femininity aspect of your multidimensionality, divinity. Okay? Yeah, she gets two. She gets two all the time. Are you kidding me? Like, without her, we wouldn't have the protection. We wouldn't have any of the lessons. Nose always gets itchy. And you pay attention to where you're through meditation. If you're leaking somewhere, and that's what's happening. I was leaking through my nose. Yes, I was doing some hape just to ground myself, because I was too connected. I needed to balance myself out because I wanted to be in the middle. And usually my nose doesn't run, because I took just a little dose, because this video was telling me to do the activation. My guides were like, don't do the activation, don't do too much. But my nose was just like, and I didn't wipe it or anything, but it's gone now. So the nose is connected to the masculinity, and that's who came in to visit me during this. And so you pay attention. Now I'm gonna, I disconnected everything. Now I'm gonna pay attention to the different signs of the universe. So the reason why I divided the bodies from masculinity to femininity is because you're going to be spoken through the universe, either emotionally, mentally, spiritually, or physically, right? So if you feel something on your left shoulder, there could be a feminine, it's on the feminine side, it's your left side, your inner world. If you feel it on your fingers mean different things. You got your root chakra, your crown chakra. Your fingers are also associated and connected to the planetaries. Each planet means something. There's astrological connection into everything that we do. So if you slice your finger somewhere, stub your toe, you can cue it back to what planet it's associated with. You can tune it back into your birth chart, where it's sitting in the houses, what it's reflecting in the astrological sign. Like, you can get really in depth with it, really tune in to the frequencies and where you're holding on to things that you don't want to be. That's the whole thing, is to just tune in, rediscover the spirituality within, so that's what I did. That's the activation. Sometimes they're short, sometimes they're long. This one was a long one. I didn't even know I was going to be doing this. Again, I wanted to cut everything up. I was ready to throw in the towel. And they lured me right back to where I need to be. So that I'm going to see what this is going to offer. I have no idea. But if this resonates at any level, and you're seeking some one-on-one, you're seeking some group interactions, just send me a message. There's many things going on, many private communities, like-minded people, courses, programs. There's stuff for our children. It's really beautiful to introduce this to our children. So it doesn't matter what level you're at. It's introducing something new, something different that you can adapt into your own frequencies of things to do. Or you can participate in this, because I leave it open. I can't do it for you. I just show you how I do it. You follow me energetically, like I'm Google Maps or Waze, and you're following me in the car, but you follow me energetically. You just listen to the voice through the masculinity, right? And just trust yourself. And I'll always be there to get you back in the present, because our mind are busy, and that's okay. That's what it's all about, right? It's about creating the energetic armor to not allow distractions to distract you. And it takes practice, it takes time. So when you're energetically Google mapping somebody else, it's a lot more doable when you're starting out. Even when you're not starting out. Even when you need something new because you're tired of the old. And your soul needs to evolve too, right? We're evolving, it needs evolved. Your ego evolves as well. When you push past these resistance, we'll call them ego. My ego doesn't like to be called ego. My ego's name is Hanuk. Again, I've been doing the work for a long time. You may not have a name for your ego, but your ego doesn't like to be called ego, because ego is associated with control, expectation, doubt, distraction. And Hanuk is just scared, because he lives in the information grid line, consciousness, dimension of our body, mind, and soul, of our multidimensionality, of our humanness, which we need them all to connect. He was persecuted. Anytime I go to push past something, he gets scared. And he invites his friends to fucking plagiarize me, have me want to end my life, disconnect from this beautiful divinity. Of course, it's not what he wants to do. It's because I'm receiving an upgrade. I've been doing this work quite often now. If you go to my social media pages for like 2 months straight, showing you step by step what can happen. I didn't know this was going to happen. I actually wanted to quit. So when you can identify the scariness, the inner child, the frightens, the procrastination, the resistance, the negative self-talk, whatever it is to be, that knowingness, when you make the right choice, you're like, yeah. Or when you don't make the right choice, you're like, oh shit, I should have went the other way. I come to identify that as my higher self, my future self. God. You can call him God. We are the manifestation of the One. He didn't want us to walk in his shoes. He wanted us to walk in our own, so that he can experience us. He walked here a long time ago, but we have evolved. Everything's changing. Everything is changing. He wants us to experience everything for ourselves, not to give away, not to be like him. He's like, we can be so much more than him. The energetic tools were not limited, but the resources in which he can reach faster by experiences have, because we evolved. There's more people, there's more corruptions, there's more way for communication, information, distractions, misalignments, you know? And the reason why I call source, spirit, my future self, my higher self, God, all the same, because I don't really know. To me, they're all the same. Again, I'm just having an experience, and I'm just sharing my experience. I believe we're spiritual beings. I believe God, not Jesus, God, the One, source, the One. That's why I say source, spirit. I don't know. He's identified in so many things, but to me, he's one thing. Everybody went to the pot and picked their own ideas to resonate with, to connect with. That's okay. Honor it. But you're not in a box. I just proved it to myself. I was ready to leave the box. I've been here before. You know, so bringing in Junta Haka through my Bufo experience was my so he was the Indian chief and she was a sister, my princess warrior Akasha. This is Akasha. Akasha is who I use when I do my Akashic record reading, clearing for clients. She's the divine feminine. She's the crystalline energy grids of Agatha of information. She's my femininity, divinity. And my great uncle Junta Haka is the archetype that I embody. It's that place between Source Spirit God and that place between Mother Earth. And I found my own. That's called Junta Haka. That's why I disconnect. I disconnect from all of it so I can receive from both. From both. But I disconnect so I don't allow any distractions to interfere with what I'm supposed to be doing next. So I open myself up, and I have many tools. I called in Grandmother Jaguar. This is a jaguar tooth that I found in the ocean about a mile during dry season last year, a low tide during the beginning of December, which is summertime here in Costa Rica. And it's a perfectly, people are trying to get it from me. You look online, none of them are this clean, man. And everybody's like, whoa. And I went to the ocean one day to go and search. And I found Kongs, I found the tooth, I found lots of things. Junta Haka allows me to use both to guide. So I call in my cosmic family. I call in my earthling family. And to me, earthling's the godly mother. And then Source Spirit, I feel is like my cosmic origin. I can bring them in together and create this beautiful harmony, and not to allow any of them to rule me. They don't want me to. It's the idea is to walk our own. So that's the activation that I created over 4 years of going through this 6 months of my spiritual awakening, a year of my emotional awakening, a year of my mental awakening, and I feel I just graduated and initiated past my physical awakening. We'll see. I believe that's what the throat chakra, blue throat chakra, masculinity wings that I received. I think I just unlocked further my psychic abilities to speak, and I'm able to feel other people's energies, frequencies, the signatures that mean things to us in the 3D reality, and I'm able to turn them into words, turn them into messages. Sometimes that triggers people. Sometimes it triggers me because, like, shit, man, I didn't want to trigger her. There's no disrespect. I was just like saying, I noticed, So I think I just unlocked that further, and so that's going to be pretty exciting. So that was the activation, and so when you close everything, you just pay attention. You write it down. Journaling's great. Other modalities I use are crystals. I have my runes. I have this necklace. It has a Buddha head on there. I believe in many things. I try not to ignite the negativity. That's why this week I went so extreme. I allowed the negativity in, but I've been doing shadow work, going back to my past life as a fashion designer and being on TV and drinking and partying, and I felt like I was missing something. I was having conversations with my friends like, oh, maybe I need to go out and get laid or do some drugs so that I can feel sorry for myself, so I can elevate myself, so I can have this type of experience. But I've done so much work to create this energy in, on, and around my being, and in all the places that I travel. I don't want to disconnect from that. I've done so much work for my 7-year-old. I don't want him to feel this from me. So of course that didn't happen, and here I am explaining my first activation with you guys. So thank you for tuning in. You know, and I played the drum. I lit some candles today, and at the end of it, you saw like I banged my candle. I put candles all there, and I just felt it was like the bear and the lion giving me a push, because we just like experienced one another for the first time, and the third and sixth and seventh dimension, standing in front of the manifestation of the one, giving us the 144,000 frequency light, igniting our whole energy center, right? That's why it's important. And our energy center, our chakras, has petals. There's 144,000 petals. There's also 144,000 archetype warriors of light that are going to come down to planet Earth and help ignite. And I believe the Spickens are many of them. And I've done my work, and I'm the number 2 on the cosmic 144,000 light frequency petal energy activated galactic beings coming down to Earth to share his gifts. And 11, the way I came, I have a chart somewhere, and it goes from 1 to the root, 2 to the sacral, 3 to the solar plexus, 4 to the heart, 5 to the throat, 6 to the first eye chakra. I believe it's the first eye chakra. My femininity is the second eye chakra. My masculinity is the third eye chakra. And then 7 is the crown. And then it starts over again. And then it goes 7. And then 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 is my earth birth chart number on planet Earth. Number 11 is the second petal on the heart chakra. Love. Activating, no more toxic masculinity. That includes hearing, is also self-thoughts. Seeing is like, don't visualize you going back. And I committed. Those who know me, I'm loyal, I'm committed. I am a Capricorn. I'm very detailed. I'm very organized. I'm very specific. I'm always on time. I try not to waste anybody's time. I value everybody's moment. It's all important. What you give is what you get. If you want to shift your reality, you got to shift your mentality. What you feel on the inside will be reflected on the outside. So the 144,000, I'm the number 2. I haven't introduced this to anybody, so this is the first time I'm speaking about it, but it was a download and a chart that I created during the dark night of the soul. Actually, it was my spiritual awakening was quite it catapulted me multiple years ahead, a community that I didn't even know existed, and now has gone quite, I don't know anything else beyond it, because I've tuned in so much that I've tuned out the distractions, but I'm still aware of them all. I allowed them to get back to me just 4 days ago. Like I wanted to go do all that crazy stuff, you know. It's a real thing. And the thing about embarking on something like this is that the healing, the fragmentations, the self-thoughts, the negativity that I just went through, it never goes away, right? But the expansion of the universe is constantly in flow. It's constantly in flow. It's never slowing down. So you got to prioritize what you do. I prioritize the meditation and activation. Something I've been doing. I first was introduced to this 4 years ago, and I did it for 17 months straight. I didn't sleep for 6 months during my dark night of the soul. My cosmic family came and took me away and repaired my energetic body. Birthed my outer bodies for me to come familiar with them, and then I know my emotional body. We have 7 outer bodies that are connected to our energy centers. So whenever you're feeling depleted, you can go to your outer bodies. You can expel what you're not sitting well with. You can take the energetic step to maybe think of a time you felt like that low frequency energy and implement it into a past life, because it's also stored in that outer body. Your emotional body, your mental body, your spiritual body, your casual body, your astral body, your kinetic body, and your etheric body. They never sleep. They're not waiting for you to sleep to energize your physical body. So these things are going out collecting information, and they get attacked, they get attached. That's their job, to bring them back in. But everything they bring back in is years of stuff that we've been accumulating, because our soul's keeping score and keeping it in our earth. When we go to our soul's experience, our soul's origin, to the 6th, 7th, 5th dimension, wherever you feel you might resonate on the 6th, we pass on. You go to your soul's origin, and in the crystalline energy grids of Agatha is your earthling soul's experience, your blueprint, the scorecard. So when you come back in, that's energetically connected back to you, and it's energetically attached to you. You may not realize it, but you'll go through life in adversities and post-traumatic triggers that will activate and reignite these hinderings back onto your soul, hence having these loop patterns of not feeling yourself, not feeling your soul's full potential. And so when you learn tools that I've shown, just a fragment of them, I have a plethora of them that I've accumulated to heal myself. I'm a Reiki master. I'm a Qigong facilitator, practitioner. I don't practice, but I've taken the course and certification to get it. I only do it for myself. That's a really sacred thing that I don't ever share. I've never shared it in the 4 years that I've had it. Three years that I've had it, sorry. 3 years. And you know, is very, very special and dear to me. It's like when things were going bad, man. I'm an Akashic record reader and clear. I'm a negative energy liberator. I'm a breath coach. You know, working with me for a year, you become a breath coach. You become a Reiki level 1, level 2. You work with me for 2 years, you can become an Akashic record reader and clear. So there's a bunch of different things that you can embark on depending on where you're at. And maybe you only want to do 6 months, 3 months, just one-on-ones. There's different things that you can acquire, because like the Capricorn in me is like, I don't want to. And it's like the human, oh my God, you're like, oh, again, man. Yeah, I don't want to have to keep leading people. I want to give them the tools to do it for themselves. You know, turn it into a business yourself, into a side hustle, you know, where you go through the transformational shifts. You know, it's all about creating something. Well, you go through it and you learn, you know, you adapt. And so it helps to find a energetic Google Maps or Waze mentor, teacher, facilitator that can help guide you in the direction that you want to go. So when I allow students and clients to do that, they're creating their own process. They're cultivating their own relationships to the way that I energetically Google Maps or Waze my way to source, spirit, God, higher self, future self. It's just different ways to implement the ideology that you might already have. And there's tools and techniques to get rid of the distractions that will, you know, maybe even not want you to leave that toxic relationship. Go out partying instead of staying home. You know, now, you know, I this is what I love to do, you know, like this is what I came here to do. Remember, I'm spiccing, and we don't like to get involved because it's daunting, it's hard, it's tough, and we've done it. This is my 163rd time, which is 10, which for me in this lifetime, it's a rebirthing activation type of experience, just describing my past life, right? Like a complete balance from one side to right to the other, to creating the things and tools that I acquired to balance myself out through all the toxicity. Because again, I could go there. It's still there. It's not going away. Nothing goes away. But there's all this new stuff that I'm not aware of yet. I'm just barely unlocking it. And that's exciting. So that's the activation I had. I disconnect, and now I'm going to journal. Now I'm going to speak. I'm going to eat. I'm really hungry. I burnt a lot of energy. I expelled a lot. But I'm also amped up and power. I feel like I can do a bunch of push-ups, but I'm also hungry. It's like, you know, you got to balance. You got to understand yourself so much that when it's time to feed, you eat. You got to alchemize this body to receive. So if you're thirsty, you drink. But don't disconnect yourself after having an activation, right? You want to stay connected as long as possible. As soon as you just have alcohol, and it's always alcohol, that's my belief. I don't care. I don't judge, and there's never any judgment either. But if you want to experience something, and you got to trust yourself above all, and you got to go through the whole experience super connected as possible, honor the spiritual being that you are not believing to be, so that you can perhaps activate thee, because he can't if you're disconnected from the mind to the soul, from the soul to the mind, from the mind to the body. The 3D, the 4D, the 5D, the past, the present, the future, where the information grid resides in that dimension. So you need to keep your body, physicality, connected to there. So the alcohol will disconnect you. You know, it's a spirit. I'm not even fucking telling you anything nobody already knows. I drank heavily my whole life. I know, like I know, man. You know, done that, yeah. So just not into it anymore, and I just feel like there's other things to experience, and I'm excited for that. So that's the activation. It's called the 5D visualization, detoxification, activation, meditation. And I believe to connect to that higher source, spirit, God, whatever you choose to identify with, you need to be presently fully open and clear and protected the best that you can be. Like honor him, her, doesn't matter. Either the aspect that needs to present itself will. So calling in Mother Earth and Father Sky, connecting, being the bridge, getting the shield so no energetic attachments, putting myself in the golden bubble to receive the activations, the information, what's meant for me to accelerate me to the next level of my multidimensionality, my human experience, the direction, how to present, what to do. I've been talking for an hour and a half. Whew. So the more you can stay connected, the more you can receive what's meant for you. You can ask specific questions too. But you just got to trust yourself and believe. So the more you stay connected to thee, the more you'll receive from him or her. And that's the beautiful thing and the beautiful way to be. Like, just believing and just knowing that everything that comes into your way is with love and compassion, and for you to accelerate past whatever limited beliefs that you're facing today. You know, these are just different tools of solutions for everyday problems, and a way to experience them and to be ready for them, to heal them either emotionally, mentally, spiritually, or physically, however they may come in. And it's all, it's again, it's something to experience. You know, it's it's very real, very, very real. That is trapped within my subconscious mind. You know, like that story that you're told, you're just like, this guy's fucking full of shit. That story, that subconscious mind, you're just like, no, yeah, this is trapped in here. And no one can tell me any different. There's no experience that can have me say no to what I believe. That story is ingrained in me. It's so open that I know there's more to be. You know, so it can be told a new story of expansion. It can be told a new story of experiences. So I'm just going to pray us out here, guys. Thank you for tuning in. If an activation like this interests you, resonates with you, want to experience it, I do 5 and 8 package sessions. Again, it's about the consistency and the experiences and the journaling and everything that comes with it, so that you can cultivate that relationship and create your own process within you. But it's not going to happen just doing it once. So 5 or 8 times, and through these experiences, you're going to cultivate your own relationship, your own belief, and they're very real. If any of this resonated with you, and you're on this page, make use of this information and come to my masterclass. It's somewhere around. Learn the tools on how you can expel the negative energies that are plaguing you in the moment, from accelerating to your highest potential available to you. Whether it's a new job, there's something blocking you. Having a fight in a bad relationship, there's something blocking you. Can't find the words or courage to say what's on your mind, or something blocking you. Self-thoughts, negative self-thoughts, negative self-talk. Can't find that inner love. Having bad sleeps, poor nutrition, something's blocking you. Poor spiritual hygienes, something's blocking you. Come find me. I'm looking for 12 specific people to work with me starting in February 2024 for 6 months, 12 months, and 24 months. It's going to be super cool, super fun. It's going to be the first time, but it's not for everybody. We're activating every day. Activating every day. Mindfulness every day. Learning tools, changing your reality, shifting your whole perspective. Giving you the tools and the cheat sheet to unlocking, forging your own keys to unlocking your soul's full potential and secrets to push past any adversity, any hindering. Bring in that manifestation, those dreams, those desires, that love, that new job, that vacation, that new car, that new home. Connecting to the divinity within by igniting your dharma within. We're going to meditate every day. 5-10 minutes. Slow. Oh man, it's going to be sick. It's going to be so much fun. Every single day. Like, tune out the world for 6 months and work on yourself. What do you have to lose? And if you don't invest in yourself, you're investing in the wrong places. You're not experiencing your full potential. Love yourself so much that you just want to discover whatever it is that came out of this guy's mouth. You should go try to experience that, because it's like, what am I talking about? Nothing that I can prove, something you have to experience. Isn't that worth something? And you can have anything you want. The universe is your catalog, and you shall have anything you wish in it. Protect your energy, set your boundaries, and love yourself. Namaste, beautiful people.